encore soupir de soulagement. La lauréate du Palme d'Or de cette
sigh was
76e
relief.
édition.
The great recipient of this Palme d'Or at the 76th Festival of Cannes. It's well deserved for Anatomy of a Fall. The director, Justine Triet. Congratulations.
On va tout de suite ouvrir la...
We'll take a question right away. Good evening.
Toutes nos félicitations
Congratulations
pour votre Palme. Vous
on
avez
the
associé
Palme
votre
d'Or.
bonheur à la colère sociale
You
contre,
linked
je
your
cite, le
happiness
gouvernement néolibéral d'Emmanuel
to
Macron
social
et en vous
anger at the
associant au mouvement
neoliberal
contre la réforme des
government
retraites.
of Emmanuel Macron, and you spoke out against the reform of the retirement scheme. The minister immediately reacted to your speech. She said it was unfair. Did you receive the usual congratulations from the President of the Republic?
Je n'ai plus de téléphone portable
I
depuis
haven't had a mobile phone for the last hour.
Oui, ben, je pense que mon
Well, yes,
discours était évidemment
I think that my statement
aller dans le sens des décisions actuelles. Donc c'est vrai que
went against recent decisions. I expected this kind of reaction. I think the Cannes is the right place to speak out. And my statement was a kind of mirror image. I wanted to show people what was happening. One cannot do this job without being touched by what's happening at present. Whence my statement. I think the French cultural exception needs to be protected. I benefited from it myself, and I believe that the world is changing, so it's important to keep this French cultural exception. Good evening. Congratulations on the award. At the screening and this evening, you underscored the importance of supporting young directors. Why is it so important for you? And did you feel supported yourself at the beginning of your career? Yes, I felt I was getting support. When you start in this profession, the funds available are much smaller, so that's something that touches me now. How will young people be able to manage? We need to see how young people view the situation today, which is changing so much. The society is in the throes of deep-seated change. Whatever the class, whatever the segment of society. I'm 44 years old. I spent 15 years in this profession, and I've seen how much things have changed. I believe that women are more present today. There are a lot of things that are changing and evolving. I'm very curious to see how young people will cope in this new world, and I'm eager to see the new images they will produce.
From Brazil. Congratulations. Could you say something about your method of work with the actors, especially with Sandra? How was the process? If you had a lot of rehearsals, how was it?
En fait, on a fait très peu de répétitions avec Sandra.
There were very few rehearsals with Sandra. She is extremely open to everything that's going to happen on the set. Often, she had a very powerful first take. I adapted to that. I asked my DOP to be ready. There weren't rehearsals, as I mentioned. I always want the actors just to give free rein to their feelings. And Sandra manages to be so available, so open-minded. Things were a bit different, therefore. I always need to take a bit of time. And then, of course, it's very different if you have an actress like Sandra Hüller or a child who's hardly ever acted before. The way you work with these actors depend a lot on that person's character experience. I always try to work in different directions, and I want a lot of material before doing the editing. Despite the somber side of the film, we had a great deal of fun during the filming. It was a very joyful atmosphere. the star in the film, in Cannes with 2 films, because she's always also in Zone of Interest.
Sandra Hüller.
Sandra Hüller. It's a great pleasure to have you with us this evening.
Oui, Laurentine Asiga, magazine Yanga Cameroun. Ma question
I
à
come
la
from Cameroon,
réalisatrice.
and I have a question to the
Alors, 2 ans
director.
après Julia
2
Ducournau,
years
est-ce que vous vous sentez
after
privilégiée?
Julia Ducournau, do you feel you're privileged?
Oui, je suis très très
Yes,
heureuse de cette
I'm
place,
very,
enfin, ce
very
qu'on me donne,
pleased to have received this award, of
sachant que je
course.
suis la 3e femme
I'm
qui
the
a aussi
3rd
ce
woman who
enfant.
has gotten this prize.
Je
It's
pense qu'il y a quelque chose qui est en train de
absolutely
changer
amazing.
vraiment en ce moment,
Things are
et
truly
c'est pour le
changing,
meilleur.
and for the
Et
best.
oui, je suis très très touchée, évidemment.
I'm deeply
C'est
touched,
dire
I'm
que
deeply moved.
je suis que la
It's
3e
strange
femme
to say that I'm
absolument
only the
très
3rd
intense.
woman to have received this
Donc,
award.
ouais, je suis très très touchée.
I'm deeply
Très, très
touched,
touchée, et j'ai pas encore vraiment réalisé,
and I haven't yet
mais je suis très très contente.
realized what's just happened. I'm very pleased for women and for the future.
Ce n'est qu'un début,
It's
Ouais,
just the beginning. Exactly.
monsieur.
Bonsoir, vous m'entendez? Éric
Pouvez-vous,
Bernaudot, l'agence
s'il vous
France.
plaît?
Éric Bernaudot, l'agence France Presse. Madame Trier, est-ce que je peux revenir sur la question de
Could
l'exception culturelle?
I talk
Le
about
cinéma
the
français
cultural
est un
exception?
cinéma au monde
The French
qui
cinema
soit
is one of the
incroyable.
few cinemas in the world that gets so much support. Could you say more about this criticism? Why do you think that the cultural exception in France is in danger? I'm very privileged, of course. I think that making a film for me it's not easy, of course, because I'm in the upper level of financing for art house films, but for people who are just starting out, it's much more complicated. I don't have trouble finding the funding. Given government policy today, they're creating support for very big budget films. More than 350 million will be released for big films with big groups, and this is state money. In this policy, you have the idea of focusing on very worthwhile films where the returns are high. Cultural exception was based on the idea that films are not profitable. I believe that it is important. It's something that is of paramount importance when it comes to young artists. For this reason, I felt it was necessary to make this statement. Of course, there are a lot of films still being made, but you can sense this trend towards profitability. I didn't invent it. It's something that has been said time and again in the current context. Thank you.
Bonsoir.
Good evening.
Félicitations et merci pour ce grand
Congratulations,
film.
and thank you for
Je
this
pense,
great film.
que c'est la première fois que
It's the
le Palme
first
d'Or
time
gagne aussi le Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or has been
Par
announced
moment, on voit un
together with the
chien
Palme
jouer un
d'Or.
rôle si important
Sometimes
dans un
it's
grand
rare
film.
to see a dog
Donc,
playing
ma
such an
question,
important
c'est
part
à quel
in
point, dans
a
l'écriture
great
du
film.
scénario, vous avez compris que le
Did
chien
you
peut jouer un rôle si important.
understand that a
Aussi,
dog
est-ce que
could
vous
play
pouvez
such an
parler un peu
important
du
part?
travail
Could you
avec,
talk about
Snoop?
how you
Merci.
worked with the dog?
Oui, ça a été très très tôt dans l'écriture,
Very
un
early
personnage très
on,
important du film.
when writing the
Parce qu'il est à
film,
la
the dog
fois,
appeared to be a very
celui qui vient
important
nous
character.
montrer, enfin, dès le début, le premier plan
Right
du
at
film,
the
c'est un
beginning of the
chien qui
film,
vient nous désigner, en fait,
it's
celle
the
qu'on va regarder
dog
pendant 2h30.
who
Je pense que c'était dès le
is
début, en fait,
focused
un
on,
recherche
and you'll
qui
see the
formelle de
dog
mettre
throughout
face à
the
l'auteur,
next few
vraiment
hours.
regarder,
It was
ce
important
auteur, et j'ai
to
été très
see
inspirée par un
things
film
through
de
the eyes of the
Samuel
dog
White Dog.
at his level, and I was deeply impressed and influenced by White Dog. It's quite incredible. You follow the dog, and White Dog, of course, he's the main character. For me, he was the ghost of Samuel, the deceased mother of Sandra, and he was the eyes of the child who can't see very well. Hence, the dog is a very important character in the film. I wanted not just to film a dog as an animal, but to film things through the eyes of the dog at his level. For me, this was an excessively important way of looking at things. So right at the outset, I felt it would be a mainstay of the film, and it was interesting to learn how to work with a dog. It's not easy to film a dog. I had to adapt to his own rhythm and pace and to what he is. I was fortunate to work with Laurent Martins, the trainer. We worked in a very comfortable, cozy way, because she also works in this manner. Of course, we worked together for hours on the scenes.
Congratulations, Justine. You're the third woman in history to win the Palme d'Or after Jolie Campion and Jane Ducournau. What does it mean for you?
Ça veut dire beaucoup et,
It means
à
a
la
lot.
fois, comment dire, je m'y attendais évidemment pas. On fait pas
Obviously, I
les films pour ça,
didn't
donc
expect it. You don't make a film to get an award. It's a wonderful gift. I'm very pleased for Sandra and for the team, because I know that the film will be more widely screened as a result, and that makes me feel very happy. Of course, being the third woman is surprising, because we're only 3 women to have won this award. It's deeply encouraging for the future. I believe that we are at the dawn of deep-seated changes in this respect. Women are prominent in the area in increasing numbers. When I started out, I didn't have much time. When people said, "Who are your role models as women?" I couldn't really answer the question because there weren't many such models. Obviously, this is a very joyful, surprising gift. I haven't really had time to think much about it. I'm quite perplexed and absolutely thrilled.
Hello, congratulations. I'm from Japan, Yako Ishizu. Question for Sandra. So you're great. And well, actually, 7 years ago, there's this Tony Erdmann. I think me and most of the journalists think that's going to be a winner, but
yeah, but you were wrong.
So this time, so you got the 2 top awards. So and you're in that film. So how do you feel, and how was it working with Justine? Thank you.
Well, thank you. First of all, it's something that you cannot realize. I think it comes very much later, maybe tomorrow morning when I wake up, what happened really. It was a very joyful moment, 2 joyful moments in the audience to realize that we won. And working with Justine, c'est trop drôle. It's something I can't really explain. I mean, I saw this woman every day in her jogging pants, and it's really rare to find someone who can give you the feeling of equality and fraternité, something like that, that we are really connected and that she trusts me with everything I do. She respects everything I say, even when I'm wrong, which I am sometimes. And it's really fun. She has a lot of energy on set and a lot of energy bordelique. She said that most of the time it was very important to her to not make things so neat, you know, to for example, when we were standing all together in a room, everybody finds their position to be seen by the camera, and she said, no, this is it's too nice. You have to, I don't want to see everybody. It's just like you are standing in that room. It should be more natural. This thing, for example, or sometimes, I'm sorry for telling it, because she has so much energy. Sometimes she said, "Action," before the camera was rolling, because she really wanted to see what's going on. She was so with us and with the actors, and so well prepared all the time, and still able to move and to change opinion and to let everybody find their way through this. Yeah.
Question. Ici, on a un vent à droite.
Oui, Pascal Guémard pour Agora FM et le groupe Le Petit Niçois Le Canois. J'ai des petites questions comme ça. Qu'est-ce que vous a dit Ruben Östlund quand il vous a pris dans les bras après que vous ayez eu votre Palme d'Or? Et deux questions pour Sandra Huller. Vous avez parlé de la manière dont vous avez tourné avec Justine Triet. Comment c'était avec Jonathan Glazer et comment
What was it like with Jonathan Glazer, and how is it like being in Cannes when you have 2 films that both got awards? Both directors have received this honor.
Je me souviens plus. Je me souviens plus de ce qu'il m'a dit.
I don't remember what he actually said to me. It was too intense as a moment. I know there was something very physical. I do remember that he hugged me, but I can't remember what he said to me. Sorry to disappoint you.
If I got that right, it was the question, what is the difference to work with Justine and with Jonathan? Am I right? Well, well, it's a bit strange because I would have loved to sit with the other crew to discuss other things. The two works really worked completely different. I mean, when we shot Zone of Interest, all the actors were in that house and the crew was in another house, so the contact was very much different than our contact. Justine and all the other people were around us all the time. We were very close, mostly in the same room. I could hear her breathing sometimes or saying something to Cintiara or whatever happened, so it was really more physically connected also. But what both have in common is how can I say, they are so focused on what they do and they know exactly how it should be in the end. I mean, some things in the film I discovered when I saw it. I wasn't aware of how this would be in the end because I wasn't there all the time in the first place. But I forgot what I wanted to say. It's late. I'm sorry. And still, both of them are very transparent in what they want. Some directors I don't want to say the word play games, but some are a bit manipulative. They don't tell you all the information that you need for a character, and I don't know, maybe they think secrets work better, or I have no idea. But with these two, everything was on the table, the things that should be achieved, the things that we want to tell, and how, so that was, all I can say now. Sorry.
Sandra Hüller, la comédienne, et Justine Triet, la réalisatrice,
and Justine Triet, who has won a magnificent Palme d'Or. Congratulations.